And we now recognize the chairman of the subcommittee, Mr. Ross of Florida, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And gentlemen, I thank you all for being here. You know, I take very seriously, as you all do, the issue of the pre-funding of the health care and the pension. And assuming that we are able to address that, because I believe it's something that we need to address. Mr. Donahue, it doesn't necessarily, though, resolve the long-term issues of the United States Postal Service, does it?
No, it doesn't.
I mean, we still have to make some systemic changes.
Absolutely.
We still have to address workers' compensation.
We have to address that, absolutely.
Overcapacity.
And we're doing
underperforming facilities. Yep. And labor costs.
Yep.
So while we're able to identify that there's a big issue out there, the bigger issue is really the systemic changes we need to make to the Postal Service for the long-term viability.
And that's what we've laid out in our comprehensive plan, and this agreement with the APWU from one union helps us to get in that direction.
Now, you and I have been able to meet several times, and I appreciate not only you and your staff for the cooperation you've given me and my understanding for my subcommittee responsibilities. We discussed a pay-for-performance plan that has been in existence for about 10 years. Yep. with managers and supervisors, I guess, about 65,000 of them. Could you just briefly describe how that's worked?
We have established a pay-for-performance plan, the Postal Service. To your point, we have 65,000 people. That's postmasters, that's supervisors, that's administrative people, all of the non-bargaining employees in that. What we do yearly is set goals. We've got national goals on service, on finances, and on people, a balanced scorecard, and we also have individual goals at a unit level. Constructed a process that all 65,000 people have an individual rating, and that's how they're compensated. So strictly a pay-for-performance system. We have no COLA, we have no step increase. All of our managers in this organization are compensated on pay-for-performance.
And what has been in your experience with those managers? Do they like it?
They like it. It's competitive. They are on that website all the time seeing how they do, and it has produced tremendously good benefits for the Postal Service and, more importantly, for our customers.
Now, translating that mindset to the collective bargaining negotiations that you have, has this type of pay-for-performance ever been introduced or discussed in a collective bargaining situation?
Mr. Guffey and I have had some discussions, and we talked about, you know, what to going forward in that area. The changes that we have been able to effect with this negotiation are the most we've ever seen. The fact that we've been able to change flexibility and long-term pay structure indicates that there is a willingness for the APWU to really take into effect our customers and our business.
But never was put on the bargaining table a pay-for-performance plan, was there?
Well, we had some discussions, but like some of the other things, it's a give and take, and I certainly...
And Mr. Guffey, I mean, you mentioned in your remarks that, of course, if the economy were to get better, then that would change things. But in fact, it's much more than the economy. I mean, if it were just the economy always being the driving force, we may still be riding around on horse-drawn carriages or having mail delivered by bicycles. But it really has to do with market changes, with technology. And is it not true, then, that in order to adapt, the United States Postal Service and its employees have to adapt to changing trends in the market, not only the Internet, but technology as a whole?
It's true that there's some Americans who will never use the Postal Service again, but they're not required to pay for it because the Postal Service does not receive one dime of taxpayer money. It's everything, the benefits, the wage buildings, everything is paid for by postage. And while the market, there's individuals in the market who will use the Postal Service.
But it's more than just the economy. In 2006, we had a good economy, and yet first-class mail started declining significantly.
But we could rebound from the decline in first-class mail if we didn't have the $5 billion weight put upon the Postal Service.
But it's more than that. I mean, let's be honest. It's a lot more than that. And let me ask you this now. How do you feel about this agreement?
We're both going to be honest?
Sir?
I'm going to try.
I'll ask the questions.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, how do you feel about this agreement?
I feel like the agreement was a give and take. I think the agreement, we gave some flexibility in exchange for the security of our people for various things. A lot of talk has been about the no layoff clause.
And you told your employees it's a pretty good deal, didn't you?
I have told my people exactly what it is.
And you think it's an excellent deal, so much so that you're going to pay your members to vote, are you not?
I'm not paying anybody to vote.
You're not paying your members? Have you looked at your website where it says, to encourage participation in the contract ratification process, APWU President Cliff Guffey is encouraging locals to get out the vote. The National Union will reward the locals that are most successful in mobilizing members to vote, with the top 3 locals in each of several categories receiving monetary compensation to be used on behalf of the local members. So you're buying their vote, are you not?
They can vote no.
And if
every one of them votes no, they vote no.
In addition to buying their vote, are you not also using it as a membership drive?
It's an affront to say I'm buying people's votes.
I
realize that's common practice on your side of the table, but it's not with mine.
Does your website not offer compensation to vote?
It offers people to encourage people to vote. It offers encourages the locals to vote, not one way or the other.